Hi, good evening, everyone. I'm JP Tong, and welcome to today's episode of Detox Your Mind. Today, I would like to talk about integrity. And the reason is because if we like to gain any sort of wisdom or if we like to have any substantial transformation in the way we think, the way we process our thoughts for the better, then it is very, very important to have, to have integrity. To have integrity. All right. So now, what exactly is integrity? Well, based on the Cambridge Dictionary, it is the quality of quote unquote. It is the quality of being honest and having strong moral principles that you refuse to change. But the aspect of integrity that I would like to express today, to point out, is which is something that is often spoken about in Kechara by my spiritual teacher, His Eminence Ten Rinpoche. And what is always stressed in Kechara is this, and I will quote what my spiritual teacher said. He said, integrity basically means that you honor what you promise. You honor your word, you honor your commitments. So whatever you say from your mouth, you do it. Whatever you promise, you do it. Whatever you have committed to, you do it. And unless it's a life and death circumstance, then you cannot do it. Or if it's a very powerful extenuating circumstance that you cannot do it, it's all right. So this part of integrity would be something that I would like to talk about this evening, so that when you understand when you understand the significance of it, then you would want to have this as your habit to have. Okay, as your habit. If you don't already have it, then it's good to actually develop it, and I will show you how. All right. So, what are the benefits of integrity? Well, first of all, as my spiritual teacher said, whatever we say or whatever that we commit to doing, we do it. A lot of times I hear people around me, they will say, "Oh, I'll do this for you, I'll do that for you." And it can be as simple as, "Okay, let's meet up next week." Or I will definitely buy you something rather uh, the following week, or oh, I will help you on this matter. And for friends of mine who actually do what they say without me reminding, it gives me a sense of confidence in them that, hey, because after a while, you'll feel, this person is actually quite trustworthy. And whatever this person says, he or she will do. So that kind of respect and trust increases over time. Of course, the person has to be consistent. And you will know that after a while, that if you need anything, and whatever this person says, they will do it. So, so you gain respect. And there are people whom I know, and they'll say, "Yeah, I'll help you," and then nothing happens. All right, or they'll say, "Oh yeah, I'll buy you this," for whatever reasons, and then nothing happens. So, what's the feeling that I get? So it's like only for the spur of the moment that the person said whatever was pleasant, perhaps, or it was politically correct or polite, perhaps, but it didn't give me a sense of sincerity. And if the person keeps doing this, where they just say things without, and they don't mean it, and then when they promise or say, "Okay, I will do this for you," and it doesn't happen, so it gives me the impression that the person cannot be trusted, and it's very difficult to respect the person because then the relationship is actually very, very superficial. Okay, so that is why it's when we have integrity, even on a daily basis. On a daily basis, it helps you gain respect, and whatever you say, people will actually listen. They will actually listen to you after a while and say, hey, you got to listen to what this person says, because whatever the person says, they mean it, and they will deliver without you having to remind them. Now, haven't we met people like that? So if you are a person like that, wonderful. Okay. But if you are, let's say, selective about it, well, then again, perhaps you may want to be mindful about your selectiveness and mean what you say and only say what you mean. All right. I hope that makes sense. Okay. Before I continue, let's see who's here. Hi, Agnes, Julie, Peg. Hi, Jesse, BJ, Lama. Hello, Lily. Sokfan. Hi, Christine. Iman and JC and the rest of you who are online. Thank you very much for tuning in this evening. Now, if you do have any questions as I'm talking, please feel free to write it on the comment section and I will answer them for you. Okay? Okay, let's move along. Now, integrity in a relationship, any relationship for that matter, be it a platonic relationship or be it an intimate relationship, right? Or with your family, with your relatives, family, and friends. Regardless, it is very, very important um, to have integrity. So for relationships, in this sense, the integrity will be based on truth and honesty. Truth and honesty. Because if a relationship is not based on truth and honesty, you think about it. Is it really a relationship? Okay? Is it really a relationship? Because if it is not based on honesty and truth, then what type of relationship are you having? That's something that we may not want to think about at times for whatever reasons, but it is something that I feel, should ask ourselves when we hang out with certain people. Is that relationship based on truth and honesty? And if not, then what is it based on? And is that the type of relationship that you want? All right, so I'm not here to judge. It's just something for me to highlight so that you'll be able to reassess your relationships. Okay, so now, so if we do not practice or develop a habit of having integrity, then actually what happens? So, well, if we don't mean what we say or we're selective, sometimes we will do it, sometimes we won't do it. After we said that we will do it, so the inconsistency also reflects that you lack integrity. Okay, because in order to have integrity, it means you're consistent. You are very, very consistent. If you actually agree to do something, you do it until you complete. You do it until you complete. All right, and there are no and we cannot be selective. Like if I'm in the mood, I'll do it, or if it's convenient for me, I will do it. If you say it and you really mean what you say, then do it. If you don't mean what you say, then don't say it. That's the key here. Because you see, you think about it. If you don't mean what you say and you keep saying things, giving people empty promises, and you keep breaking them, after a while, people will kind of stay away from you, and you will know. And what happens when people stay away from you? You may become very, very lonely. You become very, very lonely. And there's nobody else to blame. There's no one else to blame but ourselves. But ourselves. Because whether you are mindful of this habit or not, if you see that people are always, or people tend not to want to stick around you for whatever reason, then be mindful. What about your habits? What about your speech and your action that are pushing people away, or that makes you so unattractive that people just don't want to stay around you? And even if they do, it's very superficial small talk. and that's it. So again, I'm not here to judge. I'm just here to highlight uh, the different scenarios so that we can take some time and examine what is actually happening within ourselves that actually affect people around us. Okay. Um, Let me see what else. Okay, so when I said just now in the beginning that integrity is the foundation for gaining wisdom. All right, if you are here to gain wisdom, you're here to detox your mind, which is what this program is about. If you're here to live your fullest potential, okay, whereby you assess yourself, you see how your mind works, whatever negative habits of yours that are not working, how you can actually um, stop that and adopt healthier habits in your life so that you can again take baby steps towards realizing higher wisdom, and because you have realized higher wisdom, you will actually live your best life and live your fullest potential. All right. So having said that, why how is integrity the foundation of this process? Well, you think about it. If you say to yourself, you commit to yourself, look, I today from today onwards, I am going to be mindful of my body, my speech, and my actions. Because and I will also, so when I say these things, then I become mindful of everything that I do and the way I think. And when I commit myself to this, for what? For what purpose? So that I can gain more wisdom, so that I can learn to be more at peace, so that I can be happier and more fulfilled. With that commitment, and as you and I know, excuse me, as you and I know, in order to develop these or to realize these aspects of ourselves, it takes consistency. Consistency. So with integrity, what does that mean? No matter how difficult it is to overcome our habits that do not serve us, no matter how difficult it is, we will take the baby steps consistently to focus on our new habits, which are healthier, which we know that will lead us to gaining wisdom, experiencing fulfillment, feeling peace, and being joyful all the time. See, but it takes integrity. Think about it. Do we have any questions so far? Excuse me. Okay, so that is why without integrity, it's just all talk because then you keep giving yourself empty promises. Oh, I'll do this, I'll do this, I'll do this. And it's, I will do this. So, and it never happens. So if I feel like it, I'll do it today. If I don't feel like it, then I won't do it. Now, you will not achieve much if you're not consistent. Okay? If you want to achieve real results ultimately, especially you want to detox your mind, you want to detox your mind means to unlearn certain habits of yours that you have adopted throughout the years that are not serving you. That is not the right way to process certain thoughts. And you relearn how to process your thoughts. That takes a lot of consistency, that takes a lot of mindfulness to catch yourself that every time when you slip back to your old habits that are not serving you, you catch yourself and you say, okay, wait a minute, stop. This is what I should be doing, or this is the way I should be processing or reacting to this person or this situation. Okay, so that's why when I say baby steps, it means constant reminder to ourselves. And we don't need people to remind us. We know. We know. So that is why it is very important to understand how the mind works. And then when we practice mindfulness by taking the chill time, as I've always said this, the chill time means take some time off for yourself and just focus. Just sit on the sofa, anywhere that's comfortable, have a cup of water or tea anytime, and focus on perhaps drinking the tea or whatever it is that you're drinking. The key here is focus, because when you focus on something, be it whatever it is that you're drinking or that you are, let's say, looking at, it can be a candle, whatever that's in front of you, or even your breath, okay, which is the most common. Just the fact that you are taking the time out to just focus on something, which I call chill time, you are actually allowing your mind to take a rest and just ground yourself. And when you do that consistently every day for 5, 10 minutes, and you can take a longer chill time up to you, you will notice that you are actually developing more control of your mind. More control of your mind. And always remember, as I've said in my previous episodes, where do emotions arise? Emotions arise from our mind. So when emotions arise from the mind to react to what we perceive, to a person, to a situation, instead of being carried away with our emotions, which a lot of times we are carried away with our emotions, and we just don't, and sometimes we just cannot control it, right? With this chill time that you take for yourself every day, you will notice you have a much better control of where you want to focus. And in this instance, instead of focusing on your emotions, because every time when you focus on your emotions, you're giving it energy, whether you are conscious or not. But every time when you focus on it, you are amplifying that emotion, and you keep playing that, and you just keep playing in your head, in your mind, whatever that was happening, that is creating this emotion, and you just keep going on and on and on and on and on. So the energy, so when you focus on that emotion, you are feeding it, and it just becomes bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Then it becomes even more difficult for you to not focus on it. All right. So what we do is, because we have a much better practice of focusing, because of the chill time that we're taking every day, that we focus on what we need to do. Or if you need to ground yourself, focus on your breath or focus on a drink. On I'm not referring to alcoholic drink, I'm referring to non-alcoholic drink, whichever, like juice, water, tea, coffee, whatever it is that you enjoy drinking. Okay? And you have a good hang of that. You have a good grasp of that, and you go, okay, and immediately you'll be able to ground yourself, and whatever emotions that you're going through that was initially overwhelming will kind of dissipate. It will go. It will go. It will arise and it will go, because you have not, because when you stop focusing on it, in other words, when you stop feeding it more energy and amplifying it, it will go away. It's just a matter of time. Just a matter of time. See, that is why with integrity, you will push yourself, remind yourself, motivate yourself to keep practicing what you need to do in order to develop the new and healthier habits. Okay, so there is no shortcut to do this. There's no fast track. The only way is to catch yourself every day, and you keep reminding yourself every day, this is the path you want to embark in, and these are the steps that you are going to do for yourself. And that is why integrity is most important. Otherwise, you are just kidding yourself when you're being inconsistent. Anything in life, and I think for those of you who are listening in right now, when you are of a certain age and you have lived, you will know that in order for any type of change, any type of substantial change in your life, anything that we want to do in life that denotes success, um, it takes consistency. It takes consistency, and very of course there are exceptions. We know where people have a few attempts and then they make it big, but you see what's the percentage of those people who actually make it big overnight? All right, so that's to me that's fluke. That so for the majority of us, consistency. It's not as painful because you're taking baby steps. So over time, it will become better and better and better and better. All right, so I hope that makes sense why integrity is the foundation in order for us to gain wisdom and to evolve towards our fullest potential. Very, very important. So, what are the signs of people with integrity? You might be wondering. Well, there are people with integrity. What do they do? So, integrity again means honesty as well and to be truthful. So, when you have parents who apologize for their own wrongdoing or for breaking their promises for whatever reason, you know that the parent is or has integrity and is indirectly teaching the children about integrity. Owning up to one's faults and not hiding them is integrity. Is integrity. Okay, so that's the other aspects of integrity as well. Owning up, whether it is that you have done well or that you have not done well. Either way, you own up. Okay, and that is very very important when you are parents because although children may not be able to verbalize what they experience or what they see or what they hear, but they get it. So if you do not honor your words and you keep breaking your promises to your children for whatever reasons, and you don't own up when you have made a mistake and you are righteous, and you want to cover up, or you stay quiet, your child or your children will pick that up, will pick it up, and they will become like that, a person with no integrity. So it's very very important to have integrity in life. Okay. Well, let's say for in a work environment, okay, bosses with integrity will always highlight their team's accomplishment. All right, and they won't focus on their own accomplishment. They will always focus on their team members' accomplishments. Okay, these are bosses with integrity. All right, so for people in intimate relationships, again, integrity is very very important here because again, honesty and truth. If your relationship with your intimate part, if your intimate relationship with a person is not based on truth and honesty, you ask yourself, then why are you in this relationship? If you can never believe or trust, if you can never trust your partner, what kind of a relationship are you in? And these are questions. These are questions that sometimes we need to be honest with ourselves, because otherwise there will be a lot of other consequences when our relationships with anyone, not just intimate, just any relationship, there will be a lot of problems. You think about it. Because why? Because the relationship is not based on truth and honesty. Okay, and it's both ways. All right, you can be as truthful as you want, but if you accept a person who's not truthful to you, again, so the two hands have to clap. So it has to go both ways. And if you are still okay with the person not being honest and truthful to you, while you yourself are being honest and truthful to yourself, then you got to ask yourself, Why are you in this relationship? What is in it for you that you're holding on to a false sense of relationship, or a relationship that is not going to be very healthy? Because why? It is very superficial. You are in a relationship with somebody who who are not truthful and honest, and or either that or pretend to be somebody else, and so on and so forth, and always has an agenda. So I don't know what's, to me, that's it's tough. It's tough because you're always on the guard and you're always very suspicious. So but I do know some people who would actually, um, what do you call it, tolerate it, yeah, for whatever reasons. Okay, before I continue, there is a question here. Iman, hi Iman. How about someone who tells white lies? Is he considered as not having integrity? Well, a white lie is something that, you see, a white lie is different from a lie per se, because a lie is to have malintent, is to have negative intention to cover up something that they know they're at fault and they want to get out of it. So it has a negative intention there. For white lies, it's because, you see, sometimes certain there are certain situations, not that you want to tell a white lie, where the person may not be ready for the truth, and if you say it, it may backfire at that point of time because the person may not be ready. So you tell a white lie. So what a white lie constitutes is a good intention of not revealing the truth until later, or for good reasons, okay, without any deception for negative reasons. So people who tell white lies is, um, will not affect that integrity, will not in fact affect the integrity. Okay, and people are not, nowadays are very smart. If you tell a white lie, or if you tell a lie and you tell them, oh, it's actually a white lie, after a while people will figure out whether it is a white lie or is it really a lie. So again, we have to be careful with, or be mindful of our intention. We have to be very, very mindful of our intention, whether it is truly a white lie for the sake, for the betterment of that person or for others. Okay, I hope that makes sense to you, Iman. And thank you for that question. And what else? Mm, well, for people who, let me think. What are other examples of people with integrity? Well, one of the examples will be volunteers in a charitable organization. Okay, where you commit yourself to a charity, and you help others unconditionally. Okay, the key here is unconditionally, because there are people who volunteer with a personal hidden agenda. Some people want glory, want fame, want credit. Um, they are there for other reasons, to look for intimate partners, to look for business opportunities, um, to hide from their own reality. There are many, many reasons. There are many, many reasons. So we have to be very clear. So I'm talking about volunteers who sincerely want to be there in the charity, making a difference in the community that they are volunteering from. Okay, and and you need to have a certain level of integrity in order to do that. In order to do that, because you're not gaining anything, and you're giving. So that takes truth and honesty. Truth and honesty. I'm talking about sincere volunteers here. Okay, so these are some of the signs of someone who has integrity. Okay, and Cochran says, I think a good example of people with integrity would be His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama. Yes, of course, of course. All right, so do we have any questions so far? All right, so to wrap it up, then I'm going to talk about how to develop the habit of having integrity. Again, taking baby steps. Okay, baby steps. If you have a habit of not having integrity, for example, then how do you develop it? Commit to small tasks. Commit to small tasks, and when you commit to them, ensure that you do it and you complete it. You do it and you complete it. So you take baby steps, baby steps, baby steps. So that's my mantra here: baby steps, baby steps, baby steps. All right. When you get the hang of it, when you get used to taking baby steps and accomplishing smaller tasks, when you get used to it, then what you do is the next baby step you take is to actually commit to bigger tasks. I mean, when you take on bigger tasks, because you have the habit of accomplishing smaller tasks, then bigger tasks will not be as overwhelming. Of course, it takes a bit more effort, but you get the hang of being consistent to delivering what you commit to, so then you advance from there. All right, and then you keep advancing and you keep advancing and you keep advancing, and in no time you will notice that you have developed a new habit of yours, which is integrity, and it becomes effortless. It becomes effortless because why? But that by that time you will only say what you mean, and you will mean what you say. All right, so on that note, thank you very much. If there are no other questions, I would like to thank our sponsors today. Our sponsors, the first sponsor is Anonymous, dedication, dedicated towards all beings' liberation from suffering and attainment of compassion, wisdom, and true happiness. Second sponsor is Chong Siu Kin, dedication, may we be free from hunger and discord, may suffering be transformed into peace. Thank you so much. And if you like to support our online program that we have for everyone, please look for this link here, budgetsecrets.com/online Dharma Fund. You can make a contribution here because with your contribution, we are able to sustain the cost of delivering our online programs for all of you to enjoy. Okay, so thank you very much. And if you would like to attend the workshop, which I always have a workshop every Saturday after this program at 9:45 sharp. We will have a workshop where I will get to meet you via Google Meet, and we will be able to converse, and I'll be able to take on more questions from you, and I will work on what I've spoken for that day. I'll work with you what I've spoken and how you can actually understand it on a deeper level, and how you can implement it into your daily life. So if you like this kind of a workshop, please email for the Google link. Email to bemindful@kechara.com, and the administrator will send you the Google link, and you can join. All right. So on that note, I'll see you guys next Saturday, and for those joining me shortly on the workshop, well, I'll see you shortly. Bye bye.